Hello again. Welcome. I'm very thankful you are here. Welcome. It is Thursday. It's Thursday. And as I promised, I'm live once again. This is my only live for this week because I'm teaching as part of the Scrapbook and Cards Today event this weekend. And the event goes from Friday to Sunday, and I teach on Sunday. So I didn't want to overlap any of that. But I will be going to get live again on Monday. Welcome, Diana. I see you are here. Diana is one of my friends who said, hello from Cincinnati. She's actually in Cincinnati this weekend, but I'm not getting to see her because I'm having to work. So Diana, I'll find you hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully. Hello. Yeah, this shirt, so what you're seeing in my lives is I'm going through my closet and wearing things one more time before I donate it. I think I've had this shirt for 20 years. So, yeah, Jennifer, I am shocked that I'm going live on opening day too because I committed to this before I realized it was opening day. So Mike is trying to figure out how to put it up on the TV here so that I can kind of watch or go back and watch. If any of you know Cincinnati, I think the Cincinnati Reds were the first MLB team. There's a big history here in Cincinnati with baseball. So they have like a huge opening day parade every year and a big game that's hard to get tickets to. It's on my bucket list to go, and I haven't gone yet. And today is the perfect day to go. It's like 70s. It would be wonderful, wonderful to be there, but I'm here with you, which is second best. Well, no, first best. Yeah, I love baseball. Yes. What size glass mat do I have? Before I get started, I will answer that, Jen. Let me get into everything first and I'll talk about that, okay? Yeah, listen, here's the thing. I don't care what team you like. The Reds never do good anymore. I'm all for baseball. So whatever team you like, I'm for them too. It's just baseball, I feel like, is such a positive, family-friendly sport, and that's why I like it. Okay. So today I have multiple cards planned. I did a lot of preparation, so they should come together pretty quickly. And I have a very simple, fun fold that I've never done before, but was inspired by a good friend of mine. So I have multiple cards ready to go, and you'll be able to see that this is something that you can do with a lot of different products that you have. Debbie, I'm the same. I love going to live baseball games. I was never interested in baseball until I went to a game, and I realized when I went to my first game as an adult, I would say it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, 10 years ago probably. What I realized is that you can go with the whole family, huge age range span. So Lila would be like 3, all the way up to Kay, who is much, much older. And it was something that we could all do together and enjoy, right? And you could sit and relax and have a beer. I mean, how many times does that happen? So yeah, I'm a big fan of all the teams. No shade here. Okay. So yeah, I'll watch that later on. But today I'm going live because I have some products that I was not able to share earlier in the month, and I wanted to share them now. I wanted to use them now. And they are from Concord and Ninth. And the cool thing is Concord and Ninth reached out to me and said, hey, if you're going live, we have a free gift opportunity for you. So who mentioned Pete Rose? I'm not a Pete Rose fan. But other than that, I'm a Reds fan. So anyway, we have a free gift from Concord and Ninth, and then 2 other things that I wanted to mention. Mike, can you show the image of the color cardstock? There we go. Okay, so Concord and Ninth right now, let me read it so I get it right. Concord and Ninth is giving you a free paper pack of these colors. You get, I believe it's 2 of each colors, of the colors here, 8.5 by 11, for free, with every $50 you spend. So if you spend $50, you get 1 pack. If you spend $100, you get 2 packs, and so on. All of that is in the top of my YouTube description under the words special offers. So you have to use my code and my link to be able to get it. This goes on for a few days, but it doesn't matter what you get, and it does include Kristina Werner's line, okay? So anything you get from Concord and 9th and Kristina Werner, anything at all, if you spend $50, you get a free pack. And every $50, you get another free pack, okay? So all of that is in the YouTube description below. I also talk in the YouTube description below about how to get free US shipping too. Okay, so I'm going to show you those colors in a moment, but that is the big thing today. And I think that's really generous because cardstock is not cheap to ship. So I think it's a great way to get a nice bit of colors in your stash. And these are really unique colors, which you'll see me use a lot of today. So I was really excited about this. They have new colors coming out in on April 9th. These are the new ones that came out last year. So these are really quite different than what is coming soon, and I will talk more about that. Johnny Bench is great. I agree. I agree. Okay, so Mike, can you come back here? So that is the deal from Concord and 9th. Again, I will talk more about that. The information's in the top of the YouTube description below. I understand not everybody's shopping, but if you are, it's nice to have that little bit of perk. The things that I am talking about today can be done with lots of different products. All right, there are two other offers outside of Concord and 9th I wanted to mention that are going on now. Mike, can you put up the Glassboard Studio image? It's like, there we go. Glassboard Studio is having 20% off site-wide if you use my code, and the code is Jennifer. It's in the YouTube description below. And that includes the glass magnetic work surface that I work on, along with all the accessories like the magnets and such. And that is a great deal. I work on my glass magnetic work surface every time I craft. I have multiples. In this room alone, I have 4 of them, and I have one upstairs on my computer desk, and I have one in my spare craft room. So I am a big believer in these glass magnetic work surfaces because they really hold up nice. Working on glass is nice for inks and such, and the magnets are really nice for crafting, which you'll see me use today. All right, Mike, you can come back here. So the information on the 20% off Glassboard Studio is in the description below under special offers also. Somebody asked what size I use. My recommendation for what size glass magnetic work surface to get is based on your work surface. I would recommend getting the biggest that you can fit.
I think they're 36.
Mine are the 30s. I think they're like 36 wide by maybe 24 tall, something like that.
30, yeah, 6.
That's what I have here in my main work surface. But really, I recommend whatever is biggest that you can fit on your desk. The reason is it's so easy to clean up. You can just scrape glue off of it. You can clean it very easily. So might as well cover as much as you can. Up on my computer desk, I even have one, even though I don't craft there. It's just easy to clean. And I also stick little stickers on it also. So there are little magnets that you can use on it. There are some other things. I talked about in my crafty gift guide, the hexagon storage, which are like these little hexagon units that you can fit together. And I have a bunch of them in the drawer next to me. I can't take the whole thing out. But if you check my crafty gift guide, that storage is in there. And I find it a huge, huge plus to keeping all of my pencils and scissors and glues and such organized in my craft drawer. And now I can't, there we go. It's really cool because it's kind of modular and you can fit it together however you want. And that's included in that sale. The other thing I wanted to mention is I often use, can you scroll it, Mike? I often use, okay, I know I mentioned my spare craft room. Hold on. This is my job. So a lot of times I can't keep up with organizing my room. So I have like a bonus room outside of here, and I have taken that over because it's kind of like storage. So it's not really somewhere where I go to craft. It is all my extra stuff. What'd you say, Mike?
Storage place.
It's a storage place, yeah. because I can't keep everything in here that I need to use from different companies. So, you know, that's kind of how it goes. Okay, the third thing that I wanted to mention today is that I found a great deal on the Griffin Empress machine, which is the electric die cut machine that I use the most. I found that it is $50 off, plus you can get another 11% off, plus you get free gifts, okay? If you're interested in that discount code for the Empress machine, it is also under special offers in my YouTube description below, okay? The Empress, which is the electric die cut machine that I use, is a little bit pricier than other machines, but it is a workhorse. It is a fantastic machine. So whenever I see it on a good deal, I want to let you know. So it is 50% off plus, or no, sorry, $50 off. Did I say 50% the first time?
I don't think so. It's
$50 off, plus you get 11% off that, and you get some free gifts, all in the top of the YouTube description below. Okay, so I'm just letting you know all that. The glass mat that I use is Glassboard Studio. It's in the top of the YouTube description. I'm not sure where they're located. Mike can look that up. Mike, can you see where they're located? For some reason, I'm thinking Illinois, but I don't know that that's right. I've ordered many of them over the years in black, white, and gray. What you see me use is the gray version. The reason that I use the gray version is because I use a lot of white cardstock. Here, I'll show you. I use a lot of white cardstock, and if I work on a white glass work surface, there's not enough contrast, right? And black can be kind of harsh in the video, so that's why I use the gray. I really wanted gray for many years, and I was glad that they did it. Yeah, so I have the gray. But listen, they have like patterns and different colors, whatever you think would work for you. The gray is what I find works best for me. Utah. Glassboard Studios is in Utah. Brian said, hi, Abraham. Who's Abraham? I want to know who Abraham is. Yeah, I like the gray. I'm very, very happy with the gray. Vicky said she bought the light blue one. Yeah, there's lots of different colors. Yes, the Empress is an incredible, it is by far my favorite electric machine. My favorite manual machine, where you don't plug it in, would be the Gina K Intricate and the Spellbinders Platinum. But as far as electric machines, I really like the Empress. I think it's a workhorse. There's different size mats, there's or plates, there are magnetic mats on it. I just love it. Hi, Livy. Yes, they do have a purple Livy. I'm glad you're here. Abraham is her bestie in Miami. Super awesome human. You will love him. Okay, hi, Abraham. You're my bestie now, too. How big is my drawer for my Empress? I don't know. I'll have to measure it. But I have a cabinet door that opens, and then there's a pull-out drawer, and my Empress sits in it. That's why I use it so much, because it's got a little spot next to me. I will measure it and take a picture and share it on Instagram. If I forget, somebody remind me, because I'll forget. Okay, so I wanted to share all that. Let's look right now at the pack that you get from Concord and 9th if you place an order for $50. So if you place an order for $50, you get, I think it's 2 sheets of all of these colors that you see here. If you spend $100, you get 2 packs. If you spend $150, you get 3 packs, and so on and so forth. These were the new colors that came out last, I believe, April from Concord and 9th. If you know me, I love Concord and 9th colors. They have inks that match their cardstocks, and they also have enamel dots that match their cardstocks, and I love that. So this is what you get in the pack, and I'm going to be using these today. So these are the free pack. The information on how to get the free pack with a $50 purchase is in the YouTube description below. Who doesn't love free cardstock? Because it's expensive to ship, so it's nice. So the colors included are Brickyard, Pimento, Star Fruit, or is it Starlight? I always get this wrong. Starfruit, Pistachio, Lakefront, and Plumberry. Now my favorites, Plumberry, it's beautiful. You'll see me use it later. It goes great with fig. It's more of a like an orchidy color purple instead of like a more bluish purple. Lakefront is one of my absolute favorite colors of cardstock ever. I feel like it is a nice blue that has a little bit of ocean color to it. Pistachio is a great green that I use often too. Yes, they have matching inks for all these in full ink pads and in cubes. So pistachio is a great green, which you'll see me use today. It works really well with other greens that they have, and I'll show you those later. Starfruit is a bright zinger. And I at first had a hard time with Starfruit because it's so bright, but then I watched Laura Basson and Greg from Concord 9th, and I realized it is like your punch color. So you can do like a color palette and have a little punch to make it stand out. That would be this color. This is Pimento, which is kind of a bright orange with a little bit of pink to it. That's wonderful. And then one of my favorites, which is Brickyard, that goes really nice with coral colors. So if you have corals, this could be your darkest coral. Okay, so I'll be using these today. All right, so those are the sheets you get in your free gift. And I wanted to let you, I agree, Lakefront is beautiful. Okay, Mike, can you scroll up? I saw some questions.
Oh, it's the...
Do they sell replacement mats for the original size Empress? I wasn't able to find them anywhere. You should be able to. They didn't change their plate sizes. They have small, which is this size. Okay, and it goes in the old and the new machines. But the new machine comes with a large, which is double this size, which is fantastic for lots of die cutting. And then they have mini, which are like half this size. And then they have another one that's longer. Okay, so there are lots of different options available, but yes, they're still available because I just bought some last week. So I know they're still available. I'll answer that one another time, Mike. Yeah. Okay, all right, so here we go. What do you use to cut out? There are the free gifts with the Empress. If you click the link below, and it'll take you over to the website. It's scrapbook.com. If you look under coupons, you'll see all the different free gifts. Maybe Mike can add that to the live page.
What was that again?
The free gifts over at scrapbook.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you look at the top of my YouTube descriptions, or my YouTube description below, there is a link that has the word live in it. If you click that, it'll open up to a new page, and Mike will add it to that page. Okay. Tour of my craft room. Okay. Doing a tour of the craft room is a very involved process. Let's just say that. Last time I did one at my old house, I actually hired a company to film it because it was so difficult for me to do. A lot of what I have in here is the same, but maybe someday. My storage room. My storage room is very boring. It is a square room, and I line the walls with the IKEA Calyx, I believe, those square shelves that IKEA's had that a lot of crafters use. All 3 walls are lined with that. The other has a closet in it, and that's it. Nothing fancy. I promise. Nothing fancy. It's actually a mess most of the time. But yeah, hi, Victoria. Hi. Okay, so I will talk more about this as we go, but I wanted to let you know about these deals. I know you like craft room tours. I did a big one a few years ago at my old house, and I'm telling you, everything is very, very similar. Yeah, the free paper pack is for Concord and 9th. I also mentioned another deal with Glassboard Studio and another deal for the Empress. 3 different deals, okay? All right, so for Concord and 9th, I just wanted to show you that these unique colors go together very well. This is the Concord and 9th Hello and Thanks, which is an older set, but I like to do this a lot with unique color combinations. And one of the things that I found that's really special about Concord and 9th is they come up with unique color combos that I never would use. So I never would have put these together, but I love the look of it. So all I have to do is I cut this with the Concord and Ninth Hello and Thanks. And I can put this on any kind of background. And I did all 6 of the colors that are included in the free pack. Okay. I know Kristina's better than me. I'm not that savvy. I get overwhelmed by it all. Anyway, I cut the thanks from Concord and Ninth Hello and Thanks from each of the colors of cardstock. And what happens is I did 1 letter in each of the different colors. And now I have all these leftover letters. So I can actually do 6 thanks from that cut, from those cuts that I did. So it's a nice one that fits nicely in the center. I've used this thanks, the Hello and Thanks, many times in videos. So I just wanted to show you that the different colors go well together. Yeah, if you go over to the Concord and Ninth website, they have a color tab, and in there are lots of color combinations. Now, all their color combinations involve the colors they carry, but if you don't have their colors, you can come up with something quite similar. And I love how unique this is. So this, I would probably put this on a craft panel. Let me get a craft panel to show you. Okay. And look how cool that would look. Now, I would probably do a background stamp and then add little hearts in these various colors all around the thanks. And talk about a quick and easy card. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what all the colors look like together. All right. Okay. So another thing I wanted to show you is this is a card that Concord and Ninth sent me a while ago. And I do believe that these are the colors of inks that these cardstocks match. So that like that purpley color is plumberry. The blue on the leaves is lakefront. The green on the leaves is pistachio. The kind of orangey color on the flowers is pimento. And the kind of red color on the flowers is brickyard. So look at how cool they look all together. So I just wanted to show you, I think sometimes it's helpful to see the colors used together to get an idea of how they work. Okay, so this one Concord and Ninth made using the same inks. Okay, so it's fun to see those. Okay, so I'll be using these colors today, not all together, but kind of mixed and match. Yeah, it is a great one. Hello from Puerto Rico. I want to cut them. I'm hoping to go to Puerto Rico in December and do some work down there. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's start creating. I have a few cards planned, and I've mentioned in videos lately that I'm trying to do some floral card videos and some non-floral card videos. I find I reach for florals a lot. So I try to do some where I don't use florals. And today is one of those where I'm not. I'm actually using very different things for all 3 cards. So I'm hoping that they are fun for you. Okay, Mike, are there questions before I get started? I will show you how some of those colors match other colors in their collection as we go. What is the weight of this C9 cardstock? You know, I'm not even sure. It's probably, my guess is 90 pound. Let me look here. It's probably 90 pound, 80 or 90. I don't know. Mike, can you look?
Yeah.
It's either 80 or 90 pound, which if it isn't strong enough to be a card base for you, you can always put like a insert in there, like double it up. But I use Concord and Ninth all the time. The colors are really unique and fun. Okay, Barbados. I want to be in Barbados. Mike, any other questions?
I think that's pretty much it.
Oh, listen, I love florals. I'm going to be using florals in my next live. So I found I was using florals in everything I did. So I want to get a nice mix up. Yeah, Puerto Rico is supposed to be beautiful. I've been all over down there, but not Puerto Rico. Okay. So the cards I planned today are kind of a very simple, fun fold that looks really cool on display. Okay. Now, yeah. Hold on, I'm reading this. Okay, I'm just reading it. Okay, so I'm doing very simple fun folds, And this is something you can do with any large dies or even a large cut piece. And I have to say, these cards were inspired by a friend of mine. Her name is Betsy Green. I see her in the comments. She posted a card on Instagram a few weeks ago, and she actually uses honeybee products on that card, but I used that inspiration for today. So Mike, can you put up, it is like it's the first one from Betsy.
I had two of them.
There it is. Okay, so I saw this card from Betsy Green. I have her linked in my supply list below, so you can go to Instagram and see this card there. Betsy is a fantastic, unique kind of contemporary, modern, I don't know what the right word is, card maker, and she comes up with really, really creative things. So this is one of her cards. Again, that's Honeybee Products. And look at how that front toolbox sits out in the front of the card, okay? But it folds down to lay flat on the card. Mike, can you show the other image? This is like the overhead of it. See how it folds out to kind of pop up when it's on display. I love that idea from Betsy, and I asked Betsy if I could share something inspired by that, and that's what I'm doing today. Now, the first card that I'm doing uses the Concord and Ninth Retro Radio. Now, there's one more image from Betsy. Now, I'm not doing this today. It's a radio from Betsy?
Okay. There.
Okay, this is just sidebar. May just texted me that she's watching. Hi, May, I miss you. So this is just a sidebar. Betsy does a lot of creative things. Look at this. She took the Concord and Ninth Retro Radio set, which I'm about to use, and she made it three-dimensional. And look at that's a piece of acetate that sticks out the top that holds the sentiment, so that can stand nicely on display. I linked to Betsy's project on Instagram where she shows the steps to make this, okay? So I do link multiple times to Betsy in the YouTube description below. I'm going to be using that retro radio that she used here, but with the technique she used in the last project, okay? The one with the toolbox. All right, Mike, you can come here. So I am using Concord and Ninth Retro Radio set. This came out last month or whatever, but please keep in mind any large element would work with the technique I'm about to show you. Hi, Diana. I wish I was there with you. So the Retro Radio set, you can buy all these separately or together. There is a die set, and in the die set, it has everything to make a retro radio and some music notes. There's another set. Oh, there it is. And then there are the words thanks, hello, and celebrate. Okay, so all of this works well together. Then there is the stamp set, and you can use these together or separately. And I'll be using both today. Yeah, Betsy's wonderful. She is on fire. I agree, Gina. And it allows you to make this retro radio. Now, I'm going to make this because I know someone who's into old radios, so I thought this would be fun. But it can be any large element, okay? And I thought this was such a cool style gift or card. But remember, if you look at my YouTube description below, there is a post by Betsy where she made this into a 3D radio. But I'm just going to make a card. Hi, Dana. Okay, so I prepped. And it's going to be that fun fold out like she did with the toolbox. All right, so I did some prepping. It was yesterday, which for me feels like 10 years ago. So here we are. Okay. Let's see if I can remember. So I die cut some pieces. First off, oh, let me show you something else. Hold on. Got my glue out. Where is my color? Oh, here's my color swatch. Okay. I will talk about the new color club a little bit later. So let me talk about that a little bit later. But I will say, recently, Concord and Ninth came out with a neutrals pack of cardstock, okay? And I have the neutrals here in my little swatch book, okay? So these neutrals are in here, hold on. And I used the neutrals on this card, that's why I wanted to mention it. I have always struggled with neutrals because I feel like whenever I want to do skin tones, it's very limited. Or if I want nice browns or off-whites, it's very limited. And with the new neutral pack from Concord and Ninth, which they came out with, I think, last month, it kind of solves that problem. So let me show you the new neutral colors. So this is Concord and Ninth white, which they've had. Then there's ivory, but what's nice is they have a shortbread, which is a little bit, a little more yellow. I'm going to use all of these today. Then there is almond, which is a little bit darker than the ivory. So you can see the ivory and the almond go nice together, okay? Some of these are kind of unique, like the almond and ivory to me are a little unique. Then sand, which is a bit darker, I'll use that here in a moment. Then peanut, then hazelnut, then cocoa and espresso. And I feel like between the ivory, the shortbread, the almond, the sand, peanut, nutmeg, or hazelnut, cocoa, and espresso, you kind of got all the skin tones you could possibly need, but also the any kind of neutrals. So I'll be using some of these today, okay? I linked to that neutral pack below. You can buy them separately too. Now, for this card, I'm using Lakefront, which is from that pack that you get free. And then I'm using sand, which is from one of the new neutral colors. And then I think I used, where is it? I used sand and peanut. So this is peanut and this is sand. So I did some prep here, okay? So let me start gluing all these together. It's very easy. I'm looking at the picture here, but I will tell you, hold on, let me get the white. I will tell you that they have assembly pictures over on the website, so it makes it really easy to put all these together. So this is peanut, and I'm putting the white on top of it. All right, so I've got white glued on top, super easy. Those dies are in the Retro Radio die set. Then this piece here I cut from sand. Now you can do whatever colors you want. You don't have to do these kind of neutrals, but I wanted kind of a muted color base for this card. Hi.
The weight of Concord's cardstock, it's 250 GSM, which is about 92 to 100 weight pound.
Okay, so it's the Concord cardstocks are between, I believe,
92 and 100.
90, around 90, give or take, okay? Yeah, great skin tones. That's what I like about this, because a lot of times I want those skin tones, and they've been hard to figure out in the past, and these cardstocks work great for it. Okay, so I did sand, peanut, and white here. I've done this little doodad in the middle. What do you call it? To figure out what the station is. I did this from Concord and Ninth black and pistachio. So you do pistachio for the solid rectangle, and then on top of that goes the black. Then the dials, I did black, and then on top of that, which I'll show you in a moment, on top of that I did Concord and Ninth champagne cardstock, which is my favorite metallic cardstock because it's not too silver, it's not too gold, it's just the right amount. So you can see that shiny champagne cardstock on the handles. All right. Then we have our base, which is Lakefront, and I'll glue that on top. And look how easy it is to put together that retro radio. Now, there are different sentiments that you can put on here, or you can skip it. You can do celebrate, hello, or thanks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I cut thanks from the champagne. I also cut it from white, and I also cut it from black. I'm not sure what I want yet until I put the card together. Okay, so I'm going to wait on that. Okay, there is also a antenna that I'm going to glue on once I put my card together. All right, yeah, isn't that fun? Okay, so I have another layer to my radio just because I don't know that I need it, but okay, I'm going to put another one on there so he's strong. But isn't he cute? It'd be fun to put Google eyes on there. Yeah, the Concord and Ninth champagne cardstock's wonderful. I think it might be out of stock right now, but I'm hoping you can see it. Okay. All right, so my idea is to have the radio at the, I'm going to put this white cardstock panel like down the center of my card. It's an A2 card. Yeah, the lakefront is the most beautiful blue. And then this will kind of swing up, inspired by Betsy's card that I showed you, okay? So it'll go right on the bottom, and then I stamped You Rock that'll go above it. So the You Rock is from the Retro Radio stamp set. I stamped it with black ink on white cardstock and cut it out with the coordinating die. But I want to add some interest to the background before we put all that together. Yeah, that blue is great. But isn't it nice? Oh, this green is the pistachio. And look how nice pistachio, lakefront, sand, and peanut go together. Beautiful combo. So I thought I would add something interesting to this. It's only going to be peeking out the sides, but why not add something to it? So I had a few ideas. Really, you can use any background die or stencil that you want here. Let's see. I'm going to use the Kristina Werner Layered Lattice. So this is new from Kristina. I have it linked below. And in it are 2 stencils that create this pattern, 2 stencils, hold on, that create this pattern, and 2 stencils that create this pattern. And what's cool about Kristina's stencils, and I've talked about these many times in lives, is that you can actually, they're so big that you can ink up 2 card backgrounds at once. Okay, hold on. Yeah, eyelashes would look cute on the knobs, you're right. We'll do the musical notes in a moment. Those are included in the die set. So you can take 2 A2 panels and ink them up at once with her stencils. Or you could do 5x7 or slimline. But I thought I would add some subtle interest to my pistachio 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch panel using this pattern here. This is the Layered Lattice Stencil Pack. Kristina's stencils are, I think, almost always this size, and they're fantastic. Kristina's in town, and I'm not with her, which is just crazy to me. All right, so I want this to be subtle. I don't want to distract from that radio. I agree, Leah. I love her stencils. So oh, shoot. That didn't sound good. Hold on. Oh, dear. Oof. Okay. I'm thinking, I don't want this to be too distracting, so I'm thinking about a little bit of inking and a little bit of like an impression. Let's see. So let's first do a little inking. So I have the first of the 2 stencils, and I'm going to line it up on the front of my panel. Again, not much of this is going to show, so it's not very critical, and I don't want it to be so bold that it's distracting. I want this to be subtle. Oh dear. Like that. Let's do that, okay? Now, since I want tone on tone, I'm going to grab my pistachio ink. Concord and Ninth has inks to match all of their cardstocks. By the way, I mentioned before that Concord and Ninth has the neutral cardstock. They also have the inks. Did I say that? I don't know. Okay, so I've got my ink stand here. Let's do a little pistachio. Now, I don't want this to be dark. I want this to be subtle. So I'm going to tap off a lot of that ink. I don't want much. I'm just going to do a light amount of that ink over the stencil. So you'll see that it'll be very subtle. Let's see how it looks. Very subtle. Okay. Now, let me clean up my desk. That's pistachio ink on pistachio cardstock. And it all dye inks kind of soften and as they dry, and definitely Concord and Ninths do. Okay, so let me put that away. Now let's make an impression with the other stencil. Remember, there are 2 that work for this pattern. So for demonstration purposes, I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum because I can put it in the camera. My Empress is in my drawer, so it's hard to pull up here. But all die cut machines either come with a flexible mat or they have one available separately. Most come with it. But this is a flexible mat that they call an embossing mat. It allows you to make an impression with a die or a stencil. So I am following a sandwich on my platinum for embossing a cut shape, but instead of a die or a cut shape, I'm using my stencil. So I have my cardstock here. Let me move this up and then I'll roll it up. Okay, so I'm going to line up the stencil. So see how the pattern lines up with the inking that we've done. Very subtle, but it's there. Let me see. So that's goodish enough. I'm going to put a little bit of tape there. Now I've put this on top of that flexible mat. So what will happen, oh, it didn't stick because it's inky. Hold on. What will happen as I run this through, it will leave an impression because I have that flexible mat underneath it. All right, so I've got the stencil on top of my pattern, and then I'm going to put the top plate on and run it through. And this will make a bit of an impression, very, very subtle. All right. And then when I put it through, this is what you get. Can you see? Look how cool that is. Very soft. Yes, you can emboss with the stencil. There, we just did it. So you can see the other side where the pattern is raised. Here is the front side. So this is the layered lattice stencil pack. And again, it has 3 different layered patterns. That's from Kristina Werner. And if you don't know, Kristina Werner's products are available on the Concord and 9th website. So if you buy any of Kristina's products, it is included in that $50 that gets you a free pack. Here are the 3 different layered patterns that you can get. And really, any of these I think would work here. But honestly, I like the curved lines of this one. It kind of breaks up the structure of the card. So that's the layered lattice, and it's in the YouTube description below. Then I have this white panel that is 2 1/4 inches by 5.5, and that's just going to go right down the center. You don't have to have that there, but you'll see why I did in a moment. And then the little retro radio, it reminds me of E.T. I don't know why. It fits right along the bottom. Okay, now let's see. And the You Rock will go up here, but let's figure out. Now remember, I said I want this to be a little guy that goes folding out. So it lays flat and then it folds out like that Betsy card that I showed you earlier. Mike, can you show the Betsy's card again? The one with the toolbox? This is the card that I was inspired by Betsy. See how that toolbox, when it's on display, it stands out in the front of it? And then, can you show the second one? And that's how it kind of sticks out. That's what I'm going to do, but with my radio. Okay? So this was inspired by Betsy. Her card's linked below in the YouTube description. She's a fantastic card maker. All right. So she had a toolbox that sat flat, but then kind of folded out. I'm going to do that with my radio. Okay? So I need to create that little fold out. And it's so easy to do. Basically, you just need to create a Z fold. And it really depends, the sizing of it depends on whatever you're making. Okay? This is what I did for this particular one. I cut a piece of pistachio cardstock. I like to use whatever my background is. And it is 4 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay, so I did 4 1/4 by 2 inches. Then I did 2 score lines on it to create like a Z. The first one is at 2 1/4. The second one's at 3 1/4. Okay, so it's 4 1/4 by 2. I score at 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. Then I'm going to fold along those score lines and I end up with this Z with like a long bottom to it. And you're going to see me do this a few more times as we go. It's very, very easy. It is a great card by Betsy. She's fantastic. Okay, so this is going to be what will be in here that allows our radio to like lay flat and then fold out. Okay, that's the little thing in there. Very easy. Now, I'm thinking I want to make this tuck behind here. Let me show you. So I tucked the big part of this behind my white panel. And then this will get glued onto the front of my radio. So the radio will kind of fold out like that. So I can put something there if I want. Okay, isn't that fun? So let me start putting this together. So I need to put glue on this and put it behind this panel. You could do some texture to this, but I'm choosing not to. So put some glue on that little flap. And let's see, I'm gonna put it right about here on the back of the white panel, see? Then let's make sure it's hidden behind my radio. It is. So you'll be able to hide that behind the radio. So if your element that you want to kind of swing out is shorter, just make this not as tall. Make it like 1 inch tall. The Betsy green link is in the YouTube description below. I have a couple there, okay? So I can glue this radio onto this little panel here and it'll swing out. A jiggler would work great on here too. Actually, I might do that on the sentiment. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this onto here so it swings out. But first, let's add this panel onto our background. Remember, this is the background where we did the stenciling, some soft stenciling, and the texture. So I'll put it right down the center. This panel is 2 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let me make sure it's kind of centered-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect, but it'll drive me crazy later if I don't get it somewhat good. Okay, so I kind of put that down the center, okay? So this is 4 1/4, this is 2 1/4, and all of it's 5 1/2 inches tall. Let me flip this over because my white is a little long. So there's this little whoop, 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 whoop. I'll show you the jiggler in a moment. Isn't that fun? Yeah, I agree, Lisa. This retro-y background goes well with the radio. Okay, so we've got this little platform. See that platform that pops out right here? That's where I'm gonna glue my radio. So I'm gonna flatten it down, put glue onto the top of that platform, and then I'll lay my radio onto it so that the feet of the radio line up with the bottom of the card. And I'm also trying to center it when it's flat. So you can see how the radio is centered along that. So the bottom of the radio is right along the bottom of our card panel, and it's kind of centered here. But the only place the radio is glued to is that little platform. Okay, so now this goes like that. Nice, huh? Isn't that fun? Now here's the thing. Well, let's get back to that. I'll talk more about that in a moment. I'm gonna put a magnet on there. That's my magnet from Glassboard Studios that works with my glass magnetic work surface. I put that there because it'll hold it while it dries. And remember, that's 20% off right now. Now, if you wanted to, I was thinking about making the U-Rock sentiment shake. So I could put a action wobbler on the back. I was thinking about that, but I don't know. I think it might be a little too much. We'll do it anyways. So I want the U-Rock along the top here, but I want to put an action wobbler on the back. But if you notice, my action wobbler's a little bit too big to go on the back, but I modify this all the time. This is Concord and 9th. So I'm going to make them narrow. So I'm going to take, this is an action wobbler. This is what people call a jiggler. If you notice, if you watch it, it'll flatten to go in the mail nice, but then it pops up with a little spring in the middle that will cause it to shake. So just bear with me, I'll show you. But this is the mini version, but I need it to be even smaller. So I'm gonna cut a little bit off the side, okay? To make it a little more narrow and see if it'll hide behind that. Yeah, I think it'll hide behind that. Oh, if I put it behind the R, it's perfect. So there should be enough release tape here that I can remove and put it right behind the R. No one will ever see it. Press it down well. Then I'm going to use, this is where Bran freaks out. Sorry, Bran. I'm going to use my craft knife to get the release paper off the other side. Mike, can you add mini action wobblers to the description? So there's a little wobbler. It's sticky on both sides. I'm going to take that and I'm going to lay it down where I want it on my card. I think I want it like right there. Press it down. So now it wobbles. Okay. So we have this that folds out and this that rocks. Okay. Now let's figure out the rest of this. I have more to add to this. I have some music notes. I've got the antenna. I think I'll add the antenna next. So I've got my little antenna, which I also cut from champagne cardstock. Let's do it right there. The champagne cardstock is what I used on the knobs, and I also used it for the antenna. Now I do want to mention there is this little stamp that does like the little, you know, lightnings that come out of the antenna. I'm not going to use that today, but do know that that is there. In fact, Mike, do you have some radio images? Mm-hmm. Can you share those so you can see some ways these all come together? Okay, this image is from Concord and 9th. It is using this retro radio set, similar colors actually, but notice that they made their retro radio a shaker. And inside of it is music notes and sequins. This is because of the way the die is designed, it's very easy to make into a shaker. Okay, I'm not doing a shaker today, but do know that's option. Is there another one? There we go. Oh, that's Betsy's. Yeah, I showed that earlier. Betsy made this into a 3-dimensional retro radio. The link for that is in the YouTube description below. She has step photos. Okay, so this is what I have here. I've got a shaker up here and then this fold out radio. So let's figure out the rest here. I'm going to put my magnet on it just to hold it down for now. Let's just put it there. I'm trying to think of what sentiment I want along this. I don't know that I want thanks. I feel like that's competing with the other sentiment in black. I think I might like white. I think I like white because it's there. It looks like it's like the emblem of the radio, but it doesn't fight with the sentiment. I also have champagne, which I feel like it gets lost in there. Maybe that works. And I also cut it from pistachio, which is the color of the background. But I feel like that gets lost too. I think I like the white because you can see it, but it's not too distracting. So I'm going to go with the white. Okay. So I'm putting white. I cut the thanks twice from white cardstock and I glued it together so it's got some dimension. I'm going to glue that on the radio. It kind of looks like the emblem or the logo or the brand name or whatever on our radio. See how that looks? Isn't that fun? I like the white. But you could do colors, whatever you want. Now, I want to add some music notes around this. Yeah, the black behind the champagne, yeah, if you offset it a little bit, that would be cool too. But I already glued it down. A lot of these would work. You can't really go wrong there. Okay, but I'm going to do some music notes behind it. So I cut some music notes from the colors of cardstock I used to kind of pull it all together. So this is Lakefront. These dies are in the retro radio die set. So there we have our Lakefront music note. I did some from Lakefront, I did some from Sand, and I did some from Peanut. I'm just kind of scattering those around my sentiment. So let's do this is the Peanut. Isn't that fun? Then when you open it up, here's the thing. You have some choices. This can be where you write a personal message. You can make it wider if you wanted to. But I got some glue I want to get off of here. So you can make, like, put your personal message here. You could stamp another sentiment here. Let me think about this. I think I have a thanks, you rock. I'm going to pull in maybe another set. Hold on. I have to find it. I'm going to pull in this. And I should have done this earlier, but I didn't. This is the Concord, or this is Kristina Werner's Just Talking stamp set. There are coordinating dies, and there are coordinating stencils. The stencils allow you, they're big ones, and allows you to do this background, and you can put different sentiments in it. There are dies that allow you to cut out all of the balloons and then sentiments that fit into the balloons. Okay, so I'm thinking, you rock, thanks. I think I'm going to do you're the absolute best. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to stamp that just right there. So when it's closed, you don't see it, but when you open it, you do. Okay, and then I'll have the music notes come down. But if you wanted to, you could make that the spot where you write your personal message, because this card would stand as is, even though there's no card base behind it. Okay, so just be patient with me. I'll show you that. This card and card design is brilliant. And Betsy, I thank you. And I promise I'll spoil you rotten. Okay, so there we go. Betsy is going with me on a cruise to Croatia this summer. Isn't that cool? My crafty friends. So is Leanne, who might be here. Diana, who is here. Hi, Shari. Okay. All right, so I put you are the absolute best from the Kristina Werner Just Talking stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it right there. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, let me put this away because I'm trying to be better about putting things away when I go live. Did you find it, Mike?
No, I need to log in password. So.
Oh, it's probably on my computer here. Okay, so now when this comes swinging out, you see you are the absolute best. So let's do some music notes around it. I don't want to leave it plain. So let's see, closed, I think it looks good. I'm going to do some gemstones too. But down here, let's put some little music notes. So I'll put, I think I'll do the lakefront right there. So it'll be hidden when it's closed, and then you see it. And then I'll do one sand.
So you mentioned something about champagne cardstock.
Yeah.
Greg said, we have champagne cardstock, but we need to restock inventory in the shop, and we're doing it right now.
Oh, Greg's here? Did you just text me?
Me and Brianne, so I don't know.
Hi, Greg. Greg is stalking us. Greg is the owner of Concord and Ninth. Wonderful. I'm glad. He said, what did he say? I wasn't listening.
It sounds like they have it, but they're like
they have it
into the inventory.
Okay, so if you are interested in Concord and Ninth champagne, which I use quite often, their cardstock, I would just wait a little bit because he said they're stocking it right now. They have it in stock. They just need to put it in the system.
That's what it sounded like to me.
That's what Mike thinks. Mike's wrong a lot though. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to add some gemstones because who doesn't need gemstones? I'm using, these are Pink Fresh Champagne Glitter Drops. So actually Pink Fresh Champagne Glitter Cardstock matches Concord and Ninth Champagne Foil Cardstock. And the gems match too. So I'm going to put those. I'm going to put a little like right here, and right here. I'm on a mission to finish my cards and not make you guys wait. So there. The more I prep ahead of time, the better. Sometimes I like to go live and like wing it because then you guys help me decide like what colors to use and things like that. But I can get more done if I take the time to prep ahead of time, which I did for this because I have no life. Because let me tell you about what happened to me this morning. You guys will laugh or you'll be mad, one or the other. This morning, I was very excited because I had a doctor's appointment, something that I really needed to handle. And I got there at 8 a.m. Actually, I get there early, so it was 7:45, right? I go to check in, and she goes, you don't have an appointment. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Here's my picture. And I have like the verification thing from my chart or whatever. And she goes, oh, they scheduled your appointment that I called for a few weeks ago for March 26, 2027. And I said, why would they do that? And they said, oh, well, because some people like to schedule their physicals that far out. I said, well, this wasn't a physical. She said, okay, well, the doctor's on vacation, so it doesn't matter. So there was my morning. Drove all the way to the other side of the town, and it was 2027. I said, okay, well then can I schedule an appointment with the doctor for another time? And they said, July. Okay, so I'll be seeing somebody else next week. So see, look at that. So if you wanted to make it where you write your personal message there, you don't need a card base, but I'm gonna add a card base to this one, okay? So you can make it top folding or side folding. I think I'm gonna do top folding. No, I'll do side folding. I have one right here. Yeah, I said, why are you booking appointments for 2027? She said, well, some people schedule their physicals that far out. And I'm like, and here's the thing, she was so sweet. It wasn't her fault. So we just kind of laughed and I went home. Okay, so there we go. So it stands up really cool on display. So see how that, let me see, like this would be if it were standing on a desk. Pretend this is your desk. It would stand with the radio kind of sticking out in front. It's hard to do on the, see? It's hard to see because gravity, you know? But it would stand out with the radio sticking out in front. Here, so you can kind of get an idea. So the radio sticks out in front as soon as you take it out. And you can see the You Are the Absolute Best underneath. But it stands on display really cool. And then this You Rock is on that wiggler. Isn't that fun? Thank you, Betsy, for this idea. And I've got more variations of it. Isn't that fun? All right. So that's the retro radio with from Concord and Ninth with the Kristina Werner layered lattice stencils and the Kristina Werner just talking stamp underneath here. And the cardstocks I used were pistachio, lakefront, sand, peanut, and then white and black. Okay. And the pistachio and the lakefront are included in the free pack that you get. Isn't that fun? I love it. I love it. Okay. That's card number one. It only took me an hour. Okay, next card. Oh, this one's fun. So we are going from retro radio, hold on, let me move this, to toast. And Mike, do you remember Haywood? He was a comedian who did a song about toast. He used to be on the Bob and Tom show. Hayward Banks. So every time I do a toast, look at this toast product, I think it's Hayward Banks' song about toast. Let me see. I made Cammie listen to it earlier. Haywood, let me see. Banks toast. Yes, you can find it on Instagram. It's this older guy who sings a song about how great toast is. Anyway, okay, so I am using, because this came out last month and I thought it was so fun and so different. Again, I'm trying to do things that are different and I think this one's great. This is Toast Time. So there is a stamp set with sentiments like you're the best thing since sliced bread, a toast to you, this calls for a toast. There's a die set which has toast stuff in it, but you can also make a sandwich. You can make strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, tomato, avocado, a bunch of different things. And I'm going to make it do that little wonky thing that I just showed you on the first one to show you another example so you can look at your stash and see what you can use for it. French toast. Yes. Kristen, she knows what I'm talking about. Yes, French toast. Anyways, he screams French toast in it. Oh, Connie knows it too. Oh, see, people remember it. Yeah. Michael says, a toast song, it sounds dry. That's funny. Okay, so I'm going to create something with this today. I'm very excited about what I've got because I think it's a great set. But Mike, can you show some of the toast examples? These are from the Concord 9th website, just so you can see some of the other examples or things that you can do with it. Yeah, the Bob and Tom show. I haven't listened to it in ages. Are they still around? Okay, so this is from the Concord 9th website. Notice you can do like a toast with butter. You can do a toast with peanut butter, bananas, and chocolate chips. You can do fruit. There's strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. You can do on the bottom where there's an egg, tomato, and avocado. There's basil leaves. Lots of different options that you can put on here. There's even that drizzle that goes on top of it. So lots of ways you can do it. Now, I am going to do like an avocado-y type of toast with some fruit on the side because I think these die cuts are fun. Are there more images? There's more examples. Again, from Concord and 9th. This shows the like French toast kind of thing with some fruits on the top with the "You're the best thing since sliced bread" and a toast to you repeatedly in the background. I'm not doing a fruit kind of toast. I'm instead doing the avocado toast, but I wanted to show you could do this instead. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go back here. I prepped. I'm ready to go. Yes, avocado toast. My son-in-law made me really good avocado toast when I was visiting last weekend. He's the same son-in-law who makes a charcuterie board with tons of things when my daughter nurses. So while she's nursing for dinner, she's on the sofa, laid back, the baby's nursing, and he brings her a charcuterie board. Yeah. Talk about setting the bar high. Okay, so I did some prep. I have little toasts that I started putting together with some zhuzh to go on it, okay? I also created a plate. Let me show you how I created the plate. I thought it would be fun. So this I toast for you, or toast to you, is meant to go on this banner die that's included in the Toast Time die set. So see how it cuts it nicely? Well, instead of stamping it on the banner, I thought it'd be fun to have it stamped on the edge of a plate. Okay, so let me show you how I made my plate. I just took 2 circle dies. One is really big. I think it's 4 1/4 inches wide. And then one is smaller. Let's see, it is 2 3/4 inches wide. So I cut those both from white cardstock and I ended up with this donut. Okay, so that's like the edge of the plate. And I stamped a toast to you along it. So it's perfect. It fit nicely. It worked out well. Then I have the solid plate. So this is supposed to be like the plate. This is supposed to be like the lip of the plate, I guess you would say, the raised part of the plate. And look how nice that works out. There is a flat edge, but it doesn't matter because I used a small piece of cardstock. That doesn't matter because it's going to be cut off on my card. Okay, so I'm not sure what my card base is going to be. I might use shortbread cardstock from Concord and 9th. And the plate will be like down here. And this is the part that will do that swinging action. Okay? Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, now ignore all the other pieces. Behind my plate, I wanted to have like a napkin like that. And this napkin is from an older set. There's actually this frill. I need to kind of get it, or the little fringe on the edge of the napkin. I need to kind of work it so that it's fringy looking. Does that make sense? Okay, who went and listened to the the toast song? It's ridiculous. It's not, it's over, you have to have a good sense, a very easy to laugh sense of humor. Okay. Yes, it is the year of food cards. My next card is food too. Brian, you're welcome. Okay, so I did see how there's like a fringe on the edge of the card of the panel. The die makes a little fringe. See that little fringe?
Is that what happens when you craft hungry?
This is what happens when you craft hungry.
Everything you make has food.
Yep. Okay. So see how there's the napkin. This is actually from an older die set. I will say the Toast Time die set comes with a napkin kind of shape you could use, but I wanted this bigger one that had the plaid, and that is from an older set. I love to incorporate older things. This is the Concord and 9th Sweet as Pie, and this die set has like a bunch of little pie images, but I loved this gingham and then the die that cuts it out with the fringe on the edge. So I stamped with the Brickyard ink. That's one of the free color cardstocks you can get. I did Brickyard ink on white cardstock, and I used the coordinating die to cut it out. And you get that fun little fringy napkin. I wish you could see the fringe. Can you see the fringe? It's so much better in real life. I should have worked the fringe a little bit so you can see it better. But there's like a nice fringe around the outside edge. Okay? So I thought that napkin would look kind of good up here. Like off kind of kilter. And the plate would be like right there. Again, this background is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it is shortbread cardstock, which matches the front of the toast from Concord and 9th. I also thought it would be fun if I put my toast on the plate to have a fork on it. This fork is from the pasta set that I'll show you later, okay? So this is from the Lotsa pasta set. I cut it from silver. So let's make our little sandwich on our plate. So I'm thinking I want the plate like the napkin right here on our background, and the plate like that. And I'll cut the bottom and the top off, okay? So I'm gonna put a magnet on here just to hold it in that position so we can kind of think about what we're gonna do. And I'll cut all the excess off. Now for our toast, you can make a sandwich. To make a sandwich, what you would do is make 2 pieces like this and just have like the tomato and the lettuce kind of sticking out the sides, you know, a little bit. So you can see it sticking out the sides and you can make a sandwich. You can even draw like grill lines on it if you wanted to, like grill line stripes, but I'm gonna leave it like this. Here's my toast. And I am following an example. I loved a certain example. I didn't give you any of your toast ones, Mike?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, show me the other toast ones.
Oh, those 2.
Oh, that's it, okay. Well, there is a toast example on the Concord and 9th website that is a similar toast layout to the ones, what I'm doing. I just thought it was a good layout and I'm following along with it. So I did a tomato. I used Brickyard cardstock, which is in the free pack you can get. And then I did watermelon for the second layer. All of these dies are in the toast time set. I'm gonna put the toast like right there. So let's put the toast in the tomato in this corner. Then I made an egg. He's so cute. I did white cardstock and Concord and 9th buttercup cardstock, and I stamped it with sunflower. There's a little stamp on this stamp set that adds detail to the yolk, and I did that with sunflower ink. So you get this fun little egg. And by the way, if you have, Kristina Werner has a stamp set that had, I don't know what it's called, but it has a sentiment that says your egg-exceptional instead of exceptional, and that would work with this die cut. So I want this to kind of go like that up here. Then avocado. I have 3 slices of avocado. My avocado slices were made with Sprout cardstock for the light, and then avocado cardstock, ironically, for the outside. Okay, so I'm going to put 3 slices on here. There was a question, I missed it. All right, so I'm going to do my 3 slices kind of, and this is, again, very much inspired by an example Concord and 9th has it on their site. What is the best way to get in partnership with card making company to start doing lives or videos for them? Very good question. I always say the same thing. If you want to start kind of working in this industry and do videos and stuff for companies, the best thing to do is to start sharing your content on Instagram and social media and YouTube if you can. As you do that, and use the hashtag. So if you're using Concord and 9th, use the hashtag Concord and 9th. You can tag them too, and they will likely be able to see your work. And the more you share, the more they'll understand what kind of work you do, and that's the way to get going. Now, when I started, it was a little different. It was a long time ago because I'm old as dirt. Instagram didn't exist. So it was a little different back then. It's actually easier, I think, to get started in the industry now. And I think that's why there's a lot more people doing what I do, which I think is fantastic. And that is thanks to social media. So just tag them. I think that's the best way to do it. All right, now there is this little image in the stamp set that does like pepper. And I love that. So I'm going to stamp little pepper across. There's a couple images that would work for pepper. I'm going to do it like that. Oh, those didn't turn it. That last one didn't stamp well. So I'll just use a black pen. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe I'll do a little more. Hold on. I want a little more up here. Because who doesn't love a little pepper on top? Like, there we go. Oh, look at that. That's cute. Now, some of mine didn't stamp well, and the best way to fix poor stamping is just use a pen. So I'm going to, a couple of these just didn't stamp very well because I was doing over texture and lazy. So there we go. And you can add some in. There we go. Little pepper on top. Isn't that cute? Okay. I'm hoping that answers your question, Stitch Girl. All right, come back, Mike. Somebody asked how many magnets is good to have. Honestly, I like to have one small one and then 2 big ones. Because the 2 big ones, like say you're gluing a panel along this, you could put 1 big one across the top and 1 big one across the bottom. But of course, mine are all under things right now. And then 1 small one is good for this. So I would recommend 2 big ones and 1 small one at least. And I tend to reach for the round instead of this, but I don't think they're very similar. Oh, the roofer's calling me. Fantastic. Our roof failed and we got a leak in the kitchen, which is fun. Okay, so there we go. That's what we got so far. All right. Can you scroll it? Okay, I do feel like I need something on that background. Some sort of texture. I need texture. I like texture on my cards. Let's see what we got here. Mike, this will probably be something that you need to add. I'm looking through my Concord and 9th backgrounds. Ooh, that could be good. That could be fun. I don't know. Hold, please. Not Christmas lights, not flowers. I know what I want, but it's a question of if I can find it or not. This could be fun. This is what I wanted. This is the Concord and 9th, I don't know. It's the heart something. Mike, can you find the stitched heart background?
Yeah.
It's older. Hopefully they still have it. It does not cut an outside edge. It just cuts faux stitched hearts. So I'm going to lay my shortbread 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch on there and run it through. You know what? Yeah, that's fine. I'll change that in a moment. All right. Okay, so here we go. See that little, it's very subtle. But see, I think that'll be fun peeking out because who doesn't want that to peek out? Okay, so let's glue the rim of my plate onto my plate. I'll do it like that. That's going to go in the bottom corner, like down here. Then this is going to go underneath. We'll do it kind of hanging off the top. So it's going to go like that. We're winging it. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like that. And my toast is going to go on there. I forget what I was going to do on the inside. Oh, I know what I'm going to do on the inside. Oh, I'm ready. Okay, so I'm going to add this after. But I want this to go like our radio. See, watch. Our radio is flat and then it goes and it stands, right? I want that with the plate. So I need to figure out how to make it go. So let's see. Oh, fingerprints. Okay. Come on, fingerprints. Okay, so let's think. Let me think. I think I want it to be kind of like this so that this fork can be kind of like that. Okay, so I want the bottom of my plate to just be lined up there. So I'm going to hold it right there, flip it over, and cut this edge off here. I'll cut the napkin edge off in a moment. Okay, so this is what will go. Oh, it needs to go over a little more. Because see my top edge. Hold on, let me just cut a little more off of it. I'll show you. So it'll be like this. And then it'll go whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay, so I have this little piece that I created here, which is like the Z fold that I did earlier. But let me tell you what dimensions these are. This just needs to be, the width of it just needs to be hidden by your element that you pop up. I did 1.5, it could have been wider, 1.5 by 4. Okay, so this is 1.5 by 4 inches. Sound effects help everything. And I did a score line at 2 and 3. I usually do these two, like the two ends are 1 inch apart, gives you a nice pop-up. And then this is just bigger, but it really doesn't matter. So it is 4 by 1.5, and I did a score line at 2 and 3. But that is very flexible. In fact, you could just take a piece of cardstock and kind of fold it without a scoreboard and make it work. Okay, so I'm thinking that this will go here, and then our plate will go on it, and our plate will go, see that? So let's do that. I'm gonna put this right here. Last time I hid it behind a white panel. This time, I'm not. We'll see. I'm gonna put it like right there. See that? Okay. Then this will go onto that platform here. I'll cover this up so it'll look pretty in a moment, I'm hoping. So I'm gonna just flatten my pop-up down and lay the plate onto it. So it's lined up on the left-hand side and the bottom. So see how it goes. Okay. Oh, shoot. I got a goober. Keep getting goobers. Okay, so I'm gonna put something heavy on that while it dries. Now, it didn't look pretty under there when you pull it open. So I'm gonna use, put a circle under there to cover that flap. So I just cut a large circle from Brickyard cardstock, which matches the Brickyard ink I used on the napkin. And then a white circle on top of that. I just use circle nesting dies. Okay, so see how it goes like that? I want this to go here and cover up that spot there. But see how it doesn't fit under there? I got to cut part of the side off. So I'm just going to cut some off the side, and then it gets glued right in there. Cut a little more off. I'll show you. So see how it's closed, and then when it opens, ooh, I cut off too much. Maybe I'll make it go in more. No, I cut it off too much. My circle's too big. I need a smaller circle here. This was too big. Let me try again. See, some of this is experimenting. So let's see. Let's do these two. If I did a circle here of this size, would it hide? Yep, that's what I need. So I need this in white, and Brickyard, and then the smaller in white. So this is 2.5 and 2.25 inches. Just bear with me, I'll show you in a moment. Let me get a piece of Brickyard cardstock. Brickyard is one of my favorite colors. I used it a lot in Christmas cards because it's like a muted dark coral color that's just beautiful. It worked great for the tomato. Yeah, this is the beauty of Alive because I got to figure it out. Yes, I could put this, you're right, who said that? Sandra, you could put this over that flap and like cut the extra of the flap off, but I kind of got in mind I want like a little circle in there. So that's what I'm doing. You could do either way, absolutely. Okay, so let's see if this works. So this is Brickyard, and then slightly smaller is a white, and then I think I want that right there. So when you open it, you see that, see? Let me cut a little bit off this because it's a little bit too big. A little bit off this. Okay, so this will go in here, but I'm gonna probably stamp something on here. So see? You could write your personal message here, and then you don't have to have a card base on it. I don't know. I wanted to use You're the Best Thing Since Sliced Bread, but that doesn't work on the this. So I'm going to do You're the Best Thing Since Sliced Bread on the inside of my card. So on this, I'll do A Toast to You. I'm going to do So Proud of You on this, okay? These cards I'm actually making for Lila. The last card and this card, or no, this card and the next card I'm making for Lila. Don't tell her, she's upstairs. Okay, so it says So Proud of You, which is too big for this circle. So I'm doing what everybody freaks out about. I'm going to cut my stamp.
Yep.
So I cut between So Proud and Of You. And I'll stamp So Proud first. You don't have to cut. You could instead mask, but I find this works really well. And I'm going to kind of do it over to the right because of the design that we have. So kind of to the right of that circle. So I'll stamp So Proud. And then underneath that, I'll do... Okay, yeah, I'm hungry too. We don't have dinner plans. We have leftovers though. Okay. I'll do, oh, that didn't hold it. Hold on. Hold please. Let's see if I got it right. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. So I did So Proud of You. So by cutting it, I could stack those words. It's kind of crooked, but Lila would never say, Mom, that's crooked. She's too sweet. She would know that Mom tried her best. Okay, so I'm going to leave it. So I did So Proud of You. That will go underneath the napkin. You could put a gift card to like a breakfast place underneath it. Okay, so we got this. So I'm going to put So Proud of You underneath. But we'll add some things to that too. So it's going to go right there. Like that. So when it's closed, that's how it looks. And when it's open, that's how it looks. Okay. Now our toast. Glue on the back of it. Oop. I want it like this, kind of over to the side because I have some zhuzh to add to it. I think I want to add a raspberry. Oh, I laid these out on my phone before. Took a picture of what I laid out earlier. See, I like to lay things out before I plan. Oh, I know what I forgot. I want to do a fork. I want a fork right here. This is from the Lotsa pasta set, which I'll show you in a moment. So it's going to go like right like that. But first, cut this off. Top, bottom here. The fork could go like on here. Oh, I like it there. I like it like that. Yeah, instead of on the plate. So the fork is from the Lotsa pasta set, which I'll show you in a moment. And that is, I did silver cardstock for it. There we go. I like that. Now on to my plate. I'm going to do some raspberries. I made my raspberries from fig cardstock. Maybe it was wild berry. Let me see what I got here. I think it's, oh, I did wild berry and dragon fruit for the raspberries. So I got 2 raspberries next to each other. Then I did blueberry, and I apologize, I did my blueberries out of scraps. So I'm not sure what they are. I just used some blue scraps, but a little secret. On April 9th, there will be new colors of Concord and 9th cardstock, and there's an amazing, 2 amazing blues in it that one of them was a blue I had been begging Greg for a long time, and I'm very excited about. So I did 3 blueberries and 3 raspberries. I think these should overlap a bit, like that. And then a raspberry here. There's strawberries in the set, bananas, but this is what I came up with. And then I need to do some little leafy thingies. Because why not? It's included in the set, so why not tuck them in there? Mike, are there questions while I assemble the little bits? What you got? There are no champagne enamel dots. The glitter drops I used are actually from Pink Fresh. Our friends at Pink Fresh. So I'm doing the little leaves on here. I don't know how many I've got here. Oh, by the way, these leaves are in the die set, but then the little details for the leaves are in the stamp set. So you can use them together or separate. I'll do one here. I think I'm out of my stamped leaves. I needed one more. Oh, where'd it go? It just fell off. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm gonna have to stamp 2 more. And then I've got basil leaves I want to do on here. Like right here. Yeah. So these are kind of, I love basil. A little bit, or this could be rocket. What's the word for rocket? Arugula. That would work too here. Isn't that nice? Little accents. All right, so the leaves. I need some more leaves. The green here I used is, the greens I used, the green cardstock here is parsley. And I'm stamping on it with clover. So let me just stamp those real quick. You actually should stamp them before you die cut because there's 2 stamps together and then they cut out the 2 at the same time. But I've already done mine, so I've already die cut mine. There we go. That's clover on parsley. It is a happy meal. I will talk about the color card kit here in a moment because I think it's fantastic and definitely something that you guys should check out. Okay, so this, I just needed a leaf here on that blueberry and then a leaf. Oh, there's my other leaf. Boink, boink. Put it right here. Look at that little plate of food. And then if you wanted to, you could put some additional, some additional like fruits down here on this. And this is how it'll stand up nicely. So let me tell you a few things. What was this heart one named, Mike? Stitch heart background?
Stitched Hearts card front die.
Stitch Heart card front die. That's what I used on the background. It's an older one, but I use it a lot. It's just sweet. Let me put these stamps back because if I don't... now, let me tell you. Let me put this away and then I'll tell you. Now, you can leave this as just a panel like this. And this is how it's on display, right? And there's no note card on the back. And you can just write Love Mom on here, right? You can put Lila, Love Mom. But if you want more, you can put this on a card base. I'm going to put mine on a card base because, see, I'm out of card bases. This stinks. They're in the other room. Let's be clear. I just haven't gotten them. Because I want to stamp on the inside, which I'll do after. I want to stamp on the inside the "You're the best thing since sliced bread." So I'll show you. I'm going to glue this onto the front of a panel, or of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch note card. It'll still stand up with the plate coming out to the front. So it'll stand up. Oh, come on, glue. Give my glue a moment here. Can you scroll? I would put probably a raspberry here. I can do it now. I'm going to put a little raspberry right here and a little leaf with it. Come on. Oh, I got boogies on the end of my little thingy here. Okay, so you can leave it like that, right? And then you can, I'm going to stamp in here, "You're the best thing since sliced bread." So it flattens nicely. That element pops out. So when it's on display, you can see the plate kind of floats in the front of it, like that, and it swings, okay? So you can see all the detail I added, the little pepper, the raspberries, the blueberries, our little toast. And so proud of you. And then on the inside, off screen, I will stamp, "You're the best thing since sliced bread." Isn't that fun? The napkin, I think, just makes it. So the napkin is from the pie set, the Sweet as Pie set. If you wanted to, you could put more elements under here, like or strawberries or something else. I wanted to put a So Proud of You in there. Okay, so that's 2 examples inspired by Betsy Green of this little simple flap. So here I did circles, right? Here I did a radio. So any large element that you can put in the corner and line it up in the bottom. The reason I line it up on the bottom is that when it's on display, that will stand up nicely on the desk along with the card. So for the Z, I did different for both of them. But really, let me just do a basic one that would work with a lot. The Z that does that flap. Let me show you a basic one. Let's do it from this cardstock. If you do this kind of Z, it should work behind most things. Okay. So this piece here is 4 by 2 inches. Let me write that down. Sometimes it helps. I don't have bigger pieces of cardstock though. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so this piece right here is 4 inches. Oh, sorry. 4 by 2 inches. So 4 by 2. Now this 2 can be shorter or taller, depending on how tall your element is that you're popping up, okay? And I score at 2 inches and 3 inches. So I do 4 inches by 2 inches and score at 2 inches and 3 inches, okay? That gives you a nice Z where the big platform sticks to your card and your floating element sticks to the little platform. Now, all of this can be smaller or bigger depending on what you want. But I feel like an inch right here between the 2 score lines is nice. Gives you that nice distance, but it's not too far. That's an inch there. Okay? All right, so there you have 2. I have one more. One more. Did you see Lila?
No.
No, okay. So there's the 2. I have one more, but first I wanted to talk about something because I'm going to use it on this next card. So let me talk about this real quick. So Concord and Ninth is known for their colors. I am a big fan of their colors, their cardstock colors, their unique combinations like I talked about earlier. And they have an eye for color combinations like no other. They have a thing on their website. I believe it's the Color Club tab. It's free. If you go to their website and click Color Club, you will see an information about the Color Club, okay? The Color Club is a free community that I believe it's a Facebook group where they just talk about color. And in that tab on their website, even if you don't go to Facebook, there are lots of color combinations on their site. Lots of them. Lots. Even if you don't use Concord and Ninth colors, you can find similar ones in your stash. So you can join for free to the Color Club and you get emails. And it's just a nice way to get color combinations that you normally wouldn't do. They have an eye for color combos like no one else. Like no one else. So I've always been a big fan of Color Club. If you look under Color Club on the Concord and Ninth website, you'll see, if you click on Color Club, you'll see underneath it color palettes. And if you scroll down, they have a bunch of color palettes that are just really inspiring. Another thing that they do is they have Color Club kits. So everything else is free. This is a purchase thing. This is the 2026 Color Club kit, okay? I'm not allowed to open it because it would ruin the fun, okay? But I will tell you, Mike, did you get Color Club images? It's a folder and there's goodness in here, okay? There's,
no, I don't.
No? Okay. I will send them to you. Hold, please. Traps. Hold on. I messed up. I thought I sent these to Mike. They have these Color Club kits. I believe they come out with them once a year when they have new colors of cardstock coming out. Okay, so they have new colors of cardstock coming out on April 9th. And if you get this Color Club kit, you get samples of the new colors, also little swatches that match with it nicely. So if you like a light, medium, and dark, it has those samples in here. But also it has a set of dies, and there's a QR code in here that takes you to a video that's exclusive to it that Greg did with some cards and talking about the different colors. Now, I'm not allowed to show you the new colors because I'll get in trouble, but here's a little hint. See the colors on the front? And see this color right here and this color right here? Jennifer was very excited. Very unique. And then this color, yeah. And then this goes so good with parsley. So it's a little hint right there, okay? But I can't use the cardstocks in there, but I can use the dies from in there. They are not retiring older colors of cardstock. There are a few they will eventually retire, but not many, okay?
Right.
Okay, Mike's gonna show you the Color Club images from their website because I know I'm allowed to show this. No, that's good. But look at, do you see the colors of cardstock around it? That would be samples of the new colors that'll be coming. So if you get this kit, Color Club kit, it would be, you would get a sample of the new colors. You can see them there. And then there is the other. So there are more examples of those colors. Aren't those pretty? But the nice thing, yeah, Marmalade. The nice thing about this Color Club kit is you get an exclusive video, you get samples, it gives you a preview. They've had it for a while now. But there is a die set in there. And this is the die set right here. They said I could share this. It's a great die set. I'm going to use this die in a moment. But there is a hugs word with the shadow die. There's some florals. There's the thanks with the floral die. Lots of little elements here. Can you go back to that second image? So here are some card examples using the dies and the cardstock that come in this. Again, I'm allowed to show you the dies, but not what's inside, okay? So I'm gonna use this die on this card. All of Concord and Ninth's cardstocks have matching inks and matching enamel dots, okay? The die set is available for purchase in that Color Club kit, which I've linked in the YouTube description below. Yeah, the die is cool. So yes, there will be inks to match all of these. And the cardstocks, individual packs of the cardstocks and inks come out on the 9th. But this Color Club kit kind of gives you it earlier with little samples of colors that go well with it, and that exclusive video and this exclusive die set. So I'm going to use this die here, but it's like kind of in the background, so don't worry. All right, so that's the Color Club kit, which there's a link in the YouTube description below. I can't show you the colors because I might get fired. They can't fire me, I don't work for them, but I still want them to like me. Okay, my card next is, for those of you who are hungry, the Lotsa pasta. This has some fun elements in it. I use some of them, not all of them, but this is the Lotsa pasta stamp set. Okay, so let me show you the stamp set first. Hold please, I can't get this out. Let me get all this out. The Lotsa pasta stamp set, it's sold separately or together with the dies, is a big turnabout stamp. And if you've done Concord and Ninth turnabout stamps, if you stamp it once, you get that. Twice, you get that. 3 times, you get that. And 4 times, in 4 different colors, you get this colorful background. You just rotate it between. Now, I am not using the turnabout today, but I have many turnabout videos that explain how to use this, and it would be a great background for any of these cards. And I'll show you an example from their website in a moment, but there is that turnabout that creates a colorful pasta background. If you want it to be tone on tone, you could just stamp all 4 in the same color, okay? In here is also some sentiments that I think are really fun. There is like mac and cheese pasta in here, so you could do, I think you're magnificent. I'm going to have a positively fantastic day. Mike loves puns. Sending you a bowl full of comfort, which looks great with the bowls. I love you in every way and so happy to have you in my life. And there's also a yum in here. Okay. Then there are the dies that create bowls, and there are different types of pasta. There's the elbow, the shells, the bow ties, the little squigglies, which I can't remember what they are, and then the spaghetti. So you can see there are different pasta shapes. There is also a fork, which I used on my last card, and then the bowls. So a lot of different things that you can do with this, and the bowls you can use other things too. All right. I'm going to try a card with a bowl that kind of swings out like the others, and it'll actually have 2 bowls on it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so Mike, can you show some of the pasta examples? These are from the Concord 9th website. They said I could show them. They used the Lotsa pasta die set and created the tricolors of pasta and just glued them into a background with a sentiment in the center. And I just love that. I think that's really fun. Here is a bowl of pasta, and look at that napkin in the background. That's the same one I used from the pie stamp set on the last card. And it says, sending you a bowl full of comfort. Now I'll be doing a bowl of spaghetti, but because mine's going with Lila, she loves plain pasta. It's like her guilty favorite food. I won't do a sauce in it, but see how they did the Brickyard cardstock in there to give it like a tomato sauce look. And are there any more? And then I think this one's fantastic. It's a pretty quick card. You just cut the forks from silver and then add each of the pastas to it. I just think that's fun. Oh, and then here is a bunch of them together. Just a reminder that Concord and 9th has lots of examples on their website. Okay? Oh, who's here from Concord and 9th? Is it Lindsay or is it Greg? One of those 2 people is much more useful than the other. Right, Lindsay? I just give Greg a hard time. Okay, so I've started to put things together because I wanted to save time. I have a piece of fig cardstock here. So this is fig cardstock. And I white heat embossed have a positively fantastic day from the Lotsa pasta stamp set. And I white heat embossed it kind of the top left corner. This panel is 3.5 by 5.5. Okay, so I have that. I positioned it there because I have my card planned out. You'll see as we go. Okay, now I thought it would be neat if I use this on the corners, just for a little interest in the background. You'll see how it comes together in a moment. But I'll show you. If, say I was using a 4.25 by 5.5 inch background. Let me show you what it looked like. Oh, here, I'll show you. You can cut it in one corner. This is 4.25 by 5.5. You can cut it in one corner and leave the rest solid, or you can cut it in both and then do like a sentiment along there. So many things you can do with that. I think it's so cool. This one I also cut off screen. This is 4.25 by 5.5, and I just cut the die like this. And I thought that was cool too. Just put another color of cardstock behind it, and look how cool that looks. I think that's neat too. But, so you can use this in many ways. You can inlay, there's examples in there. Oh, what did I use to remove the anti-static powder tool? An eraser. An eraser. Nothing fancy, just an eraser. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to have it kind of go like this. A diagonal here and a little diagonal up here. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll be cool. We'll see. Oh, this carb was made especially for you. Who said they were here from Concord and 9th? Did they say? Was it Lindsay or was it Greg?
Didn't say.
I like to tease Greg and say that everybody else does all the work there, but he designs a lot of stuff, so I can't do that. What was I talking about? I'm curious about that. Okay, hold on. Let me do this corner too. So I'm going to do just like up here. Why not? I think it'll be cool, right? It's Lindsay. Okay, Lindsay's here. I don't believe this die is sold separately. Lindsay, can you tell me? Lindsay's my superhero. She is hilarious. She's a great human. All right, so I don't believe the die set is sold separately from the Color Club kit. I think it's exclusive to it, but you get all the other stuff with it. So Lindsay will be able to answer that. But I think that's cool. And now I'm going to glue that. Oops, my fork went on the ground. When I can't find my fork later, remind me it's on the ground. So this was 3.5 by 5.5 of Fig. I white heat embossed my sentiment. I used an eraser to remove the anti-static. I'm putting glue on the back of it because I did the die cutting in the corners. Yes, it's Concord and Ninth. Yeah, Lindsay is a bowl of sunshine. She is. Okay. And I'm gluing that onto another piece of Fig cardstock of the same size. So see how that scallop is just kind of tone on tone. I don't want it to be distracting from my card, but look how that adds some interest. Now, if you wanted to, you could do inlay of different colors. Again, if you get the club kit, the 2026 club kit, you get the dies and also a link to a video that shows you things to do with it. Okay, but that's just to add some interest to the background. Then behind that, I want to have Plumberry. Hold on. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, this is 3.5 wide. I have Plumberry. So this is Fig, which is an older color from Concord and Ninth. Plumberry is one of the new color palettes from 2020. This is older. This is from 2025. It's part of the free pack that you can get with my deal. So Plumberry goes nicely with Fig. And I cut the Plumberry just to be a little bit wider. So the Fig piece here is 3.5 by 5.5. The Plumberry is 3 3/4 by 5.5. And that will all go on to a note card that is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I need to restock my note cards. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Okay, like that. Okay, so this will go, so that's what the front of my card will look like. Isn't that fun? Yeah, Plumberry is a really cool color. Okay, now my idea is to have a bowl here, hold on, a bowl there and a bowl down here, and this one will swing up. Let me make sure I've got I plan my picture. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's do our 2 bowls. I figure in one bowl, I'm gonna put like the spiral pasta. I forget what those are called. Like, where'd my pastas go? Oh, here they are. The spiral pasta like that. And then in the other bowl, I'll put spaghetti. And I'll have 2 forks, one that has spaghetti and one that has the spiral pasta. Okay, so let's do our first bowl. So in the Lotsa pasta die set, I have the die set. I did the bowl and then the front of the bowl. So you have the back of the bowl, the front of the bowl. And then there's this die cut that kind of gives you the base for your pasta, so you don't have to really fill it in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I made my 2 bowls and there is a little die in there that does that little color stripe to go across your bowl. And I did that from Plumberry on one and Fig on the other. There's also a heart die you can put on there. You could stamp on your bowls. You can do whatever you want. But I just did the little stripe on each bowl. This one's Fig and this one's Plumberry. Then I have the back of my bowl for each of those. Now, I made my pasta from, most of my pasta is cut from shortbread. One of the new neutral colors from Concord and Ninth. And then for like the shadows on it, I used sand. So if you look closely, like see how in the little holes on your spiral pasta, you have the darker. So the pasta is shortbread, the little holes behind it, they have that little piece that cuts that you can put behind it. That's sand. And the same thing happens for the bow. Here's the bow tie and the macaroni. See how cute they are? So shortbread with sand behind it. Okay, so all of these dies are in here. So there are dies that layer to make shells. There are dies that layer to make the, what do you call the tube ones? Why am I blanking on all these? Rigatoni? Anyway, but there's lots of different pastas in here. But I'm doing the spiral and just the regular spaghetti. Okay, so I cut two of like the base for the pasta from sand. That's kind of like the shadow. And I don't want my bowls to be a ton of pasta because I need two to fit on here. So I'm not gonna make it too high. I'm just kind of gluing it like that. This will get glued on top in a moment. Let's put the spaghetti on this one. So there are two dies that make spaghetti. Now you could really do a good job layering this better and putting other colors in it. I'm not. I want this to just kind of be layered up-ish. How's that sound? Because really, I'm gonna have two bowls of pasta here, so I don't feel like it has to be done super well. So I did one kind of up and to the left and one down to the right. So that's what we got. Oh, look at that. I don't even really think you need more, but I'm gonna put one more layer because I have it here. I have two more layers, but I'll do one more. So it looks like spaghetti. My girl loves herself some plain pasta with butter and salt and pepper. She loves it. So that's her comfort food. So that's what I'm making here. So now I'll put the front of the bowl on it. See? And look, you have a bowl of pasta. Okay, so I'll put magnets on the ends here just to make sure that those ends seal. All right, now in the other bowl, this one might be a little harder. I'm doing my little spiralies. So let's see. That's sand for the base, and now I'll put spirals around it, like in it. So I've got a bunch of spirals here. Just have little spirals all over in here. I made a bunch, so hopefully I have enough. And the nice thing about these dies is that the dies create more than one at a time, so you don't have to do create one pasta at a time. Does that make sense? So let's see what we're going with. Oh yeah. So let's do, isn't it fun? Yeah, I want spaghetti now too. We don't know what we're doing for dinner. We might have to get spaghetti. Do we have any plans, Mike? No, we mentioned, oh, we had leftovers. We actually have tortellini soup from last night. That counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're getting there. I'm gonna put a few more pastas in there. Oh, I'm running out. I'll tear this one in half. I probably would put more pasta in here, but I wanna save some time, so we'll just do this. I'm gonna need one more though. Forgot. I need one for my fork. So maybe, oh no, it's too late. Okay, so there, that's good. I'll probably go back and add some more in here, but for now, this should be good. I'll put a macaroni right there. Nobody will ever know. Okay. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, put the front of the bowl on there, and now we have a bowl, 2 bowls of pasta. Okay, so there we go. Now I did need one more of the bow tie, or oh, here we go. I just need to add the ends to it. And that's what will go on the fork. Hold on, give me a moment. Is that the right color? No, that's too dark. Hold on. Isn't that fun? You picked up pizza, sounds good. I keep thinking about pizza. Here's the thing with pizza. I love pizza, but I always regret it because I don't have self-control with pizza or French fries. So if you give me pizza or French fries, I'm going to go to town and regret it. So yeah, not for me. I have to avoid it once in a while. Once in a while. Okay, so I have one more. This little spiral is going to go on the other fork. So I have a fork for each of my pastas. Okay, so I have my 2 pastas. You could do shading on it to make it even better. You could put pasta sauce on it, whatever you want. But my idea is to have like this. This one will be glued down and this one will go, okay? So let's see. We need a for the pasta, or for the spaghetti. Oh, potato chips. Oh, Doritos and potato chips. Here's the thing. Okay, so I think I've told this story before. When we would go to the Caribbean, like if you go to the little islands we went to, wouldn't have like super healthy stuff in the grocery stores. It was all like chips and stuff that they could keep for a while. And so we would get like Doritos and pretzels and Oreos. And when we were on our vacations, you could have as much as you wanted. But at home, my son didn't know Oreos and Doritos existed until he was like 3 years old and we went into CVS or Walgreens and he saw Oreos and Doritos and he's like, Mom, they sell them at home now. We can eat them anytime. I'm like, no. Anyway, it's our vacation food. Okay, so for our little, for the bottom bowl, I have a smaller doohickey here, but it's about the same as what I showed you before. This is 1 inch tall, 3.5 inches wide. I just made it smaller because it's going behind a smaller element. Last time I had a bigger element. But again, I did a 1 inch, a score line, 2 score lines that are 1 inches apart here. So the first score line's at 1.5, the second's at 2.5. So again, 3.5 inches long, score line at 1.5 and 2.5. Yeah, we all have our, I remember growing up, my mom would take Doritos and put them on a plate and put pieces of American cheese on it and zap it in the microwave, and that would be my snack. We should try that, Mike. I wonder if we'd still like it. Do you think we'd still like it? Okay, so this guy is going to go right here. So he's going to go, but I want him to be hanging off this panel. So he can hang off this panel a little bit because this panel is 3.5 inches wide. So yeah, it can hang off a little bit. So I want him to be right there. So I got to glue the big flap to the back of that fig. It's kind of like I did at the beginning. The big flap onto the back of the fig. Let's see if I got it the right height. You move it down a little bit. I want it so that when I put my pasta bowl on top, you don't see this little guy. Okay, so this is going to go right here and you won't see it. Hold on. Let me get it just right. Because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah, okay. So see how it's hidden there? Behind this. Now this is that Z fold. The big flap stuck to the back. On this platform that's sticking up, I'll put some glue. And then I'll flatten it and put my pasta bowl on top of it. And I'm putting my pasta bowl down so that the bottom of it lines up with the bottom of our card. Bucket nachos, I've never heard of that. So see, it'll go, okay? So that's how that will go. Now on the back of this, I'm putting our plum berry, which is a little bit wider, just so we have a nice little trim. Doritos dipped in cottage cheese. Oh no. Oh no. I used to eat cottage cheese as a kid all the time, and now I can't do it. I buy it and I try and I can't. Montgomery Inn ribs. I love it. So I put the 3 3/4 inch by 5.5 inch panel on the back of it, and now I'm putting it onto the front of a note card. My note card is a little too tall, but the note card is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. So I can cut a little bit off the top here. My note card's too big, a little too tall. Here's the thing. If I bought a bag of Doritos in my house, I would eat them all. That would not be a good thing. So there we go. Okay. So see how the bowl of pasta stands out in front. Okay. This is a little bit big there. I'm going to just, okay. So it goes, we're not done with him yet. We've got our other bowl. The other bowl is going to be glued to the background. Hold please. I have to look at my picture to make sure I get it all right. Okay. So this guy, I'm going to put glue on the back, and he's going to go behind it So it fits within the parameter of my 4¼ by 5½ inch note card. So this one goes like this, but this guy stays here. We got our sentiment up there. Now I have two forks. I think this one looks cool, like right there, kind of coming up there, right? Kind of fits there. So let's put I'm gonna leave no glue on this part so it looks like it's kind of floating. And I'm gonna have it go, I'll have it up here like that. See? Okay. And then I'm gonna have another fork kind of going this way with the other on there. I wish I could do cottage cheese. It's no bueno for me anymore. And I know like every video on Instagram shows that, no. Now you could make it so that the fork travels with this bowl, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have it so it kind of goes like, let's have it go so it's like this. Kind of fills in that little space like that. There's our two forks. Like that. Okay, so this goes like that. Our forks are stuck there. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Okay, now, and when you stand it up, that little bowl of spaghetti sticks out. But you could make the fork stick in this, you know, but I'm not going to. Now, I want something under here so that when this goes ring, ring, there's something under there. So this is going to Lila, and I am on a mission to let her know how proud I am of her all the time. So I did So Proud of You, and that is also from the Kristina Werner Just Talking set that I showed you earlier. But I think I need to matte my circle on white so it stands out. I white heat embossed So Proud of You from this set onto Plumberry cardstock. And I could have used one of the balloons or one of the dies balloons, but I decided not to. I'm just doing a circle. I love this set. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll be using that a lot. Let me put my circle away because I'll lose it. And so now, little mat. And now this can go like right here. Let's make sure. Yep. So see how it's hidden? And then you do So Proud of You. And then in here, I'm going to put a few extra pastas. We'll do some bow tie like that. And then make sure it's hidden. Yep. I did. Oh no. Where did all my elbows go? I made a bunch of elbow macaronis. It ran away. I had a whole bunch of them that I made. They were in this. Mike, did you eat them? I had a bunch of them. Well, I'll probably put like some elbow macaroni here. And maybe, oh, I see I had a silver heart too. Because there's a heart die in here. Let me make a new silver heart. I'll find it as soon as I cut it. Just give me a moment. They're not fun. Yeah, you can add meatballs to it. You could do whatever. But I'm good with that. It looks better in person than in real life. In real life, it doesn't look very balanced. Or in the video, it doesn't look very balanced, like with this spot here. But you can actually see the scallops in real life, so it actually works well. So there's a little silver heart that I could put here too. Kind of like that. Or I could put the silver heart here, but I really don't think it, in real life, you don't need it. I'm going to put it here. Okay. Like that. Okay, now I'm going to add some, I will add some little gemstones because why not? So let's see. Oh, I'll do clear. I need a nap. Where are my dewdrops? Where are they? They are missing in action. Oh, here they are. I have some little dewdrops here. These are Trinity boiled sugar. You could put like a little pop of red in here, like a little brickyard would be fun. Oh, you know where that silver heart would be good? Is right here. Maybe I'll put one there too. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, I like it better there. There we go. Like the silver heart there. Okay, now let's do some dewdrops. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2. So I'll do, oops. Are the reds winning or losing?
0-0.
And then, okay. So there we go. And remember, the adhesive will dry clear, so those will just be clear bobbles. Do I nap? I have been lately, because I haven't been feeling great lately. I laid down this morning until my dogs woke me up. I don't normally nap a ton, but lately I have been. I can remove that glue from in there once it's dry. There we go. Okay, so there's our little bowl. This is what it looks like when it's closed, and this swings open. The note card opens also, and then it stands up with this guy sticking out. I just think that's fun. And the reason, again, I did purples because that's Lila's favorite color, and I did plain pasta because that's Lila's favorite, one of her favorite foods. But you could put like red sauce and you know, whatever you want. There's a lot of examples on the Concord and 9th website. But I wish you could see how cool that cutout looks in the background. That is from the club kit, the color club kit for 2026. So there we go. Oh, I have giveaways to give away. Do they have gift cards, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do a $50 gift card to Concord and 9th. So if you want your chance to win, leave a comment in the chat. If you've already left a comment, you're already eligible. I'm just giving you a warning if you've been quiet during it, which I completely understand. But keep in mind that Concord and 9th has that free pack of cardstock with every $50 you spend. So if you spend $100, you get 2 free packs. If you spend $150, you get 3 free packs. And you can see I did this fun flap inspired by my friend Betsy Green. And I put a link to her video in the YouTube description below. And remember, these flatten to go into an envelope. And when you take it out is when it does that kind of fun float sticking out front. I have links to her Instagram, not her YouTube. Did I say it YouTube? To her Instagram below. I'm working on getting her to do YouTube videos because she's great. But she does have a step-by-step for some of hers. All right. And Betsy, thank you. I owe you one. All right, so those are 3 cards for today. Remember that it's $50 on Concord and 9th website, which does include Kristina Werner's products, okay? I didn't use many of hers today because I think some of hers from the last release have sold out. So I just used a few here and there, but I just think it's really neat. Now, when these lay down on their back, they kind of fall wonky like that. But remember, when they stand up, it looks really cool. It just looks funny laying down. See how they kind of stand out cool? But laying down looks a little funny. But in the envelope, they'll fit nicely. All right. So this was the Lotsa pasta. This is the toast time. And this is retro radio with a few other things thrown in. But keep in mind, again, I know not everybody's shopping right now. Some of you may have bought this collection, these collections already. But any element can be down at the bottom here. So this is a large circle. This is a bowl of pasta. This is a radio, but something that kind of sits close to the bottom and swings out. So it will pop out when it stands up, okay? I've done other pop-ups when they stand out. This particular design works great with a side fold card. Or again, you could skip the background and just have a panel with this floating out and write your personal message underneath where that folds out, okay? Yeah. Okay, Mike, it's only
Yes.
5:15. Go, Jennifer. Do you have a winner of the $50 from for a Concord and Ninth gift card?
Well, yeah, I do.
Who's the winner?
Golda Peterson.
Golda Peterson. You are the winner of the $50 gift card. If you go to my website and click on Contact Me and send us your email address, we'll get it out to you right away so you can use the discount code for a free pack of pasta.
There you go. All right, I pinned the message.
Free pack of cardstock. I just saw pasta in the chat. So.
I pinned it already.
Oh, Risa, I hope you feel better soon. So Golda, please send us a message. All right. So that is my live for today, I think. I think that's it.
Through the website. Message through the website.
Message through the website. Give us your email address. I am going live again next on Monday. And Monday is actually Gina K. What am I having for dinner? I have leftover tortellini soup from last night. So, all right. Thank you. My left earring's about to fall out. Thank you, Michelle. Dang, you're good. All the way from Australia, she noticed that. Thank you all for being here. And I hope you enjoyed these different type of cards. And thank you to Betsy Green for inspiration. I linked to her a couple times in the YouTube description below. And I will see you again on Monday. Thanks for watching.